You know, in my opinion, many website problems occur because a marketer wasn't involved in the design of it. Now, what do I mean by that is that, you know, there's webmasters, and I think there are three types of people that create websites. The first one is a webmaster, and that's essentially, for lack of a better word, no disrespect intended, the geek, the people that know HTML code, the people that actually make it work. Then there are the designers, the people that actually design websites. Now, the webmaster, for all practical purposes, doesn't care what it looks like as long as it's really cool and it's got a lot of cool codes in HTML and Flash and all sorts of gizmos and gadgets. Now, many times the designer doesn't really care about the code as long as it really looks good. And the marketer, well, the marketer is really the one that should be tying it all together, and the marketer doesn't care what it looks like, how it works, as long as it sells. And, you know, for me, I'd rather have a horrible-looking website with high conversion rates than a beautiful-looking website that did not convert at all. So you do, in fact, need all three of these people involved in the creation and the design of your website. However, the marketer, in my opinion, needs to have the last say in this and be sure that everything that's done is done towards one goal, and that is providing information and creating or converting leads into sales. Okay, let me give you a couple of website statistics that I've recently come across. The first one is that the average user will only wait 10 to 20 seconds to download a screen. So if you have a Flash video on there, or if you have all these high-resolution pictures and they do not download quick enough, that visitor is going to leave. And I know we've all done it ourselves. We go to Google, we type in our keyword, our search term, we click on one of the sites that's listed there, we get to the site, and if it doesn't download quick enough, it's like you hit the back button and you go to the next one. We all do it. We just got to be sure that's not happening to our websites. Only 10% of the users will scroll past the first screen. It takes only 2 to 3 clicks before the average user gets frustrated on most sites and leaves. 79% of the users only scan the page, which means that when you're designing it, you really have to be sure that the headlines and the text really get to the point as quickly as possible. Most users will only scroll down 3 to 4 screens, and 83% of the people leave a website frustrated mostly because of the things I mentioned above, but poor navigation is a huge complaint. And I read some statistics that every time you make a visitor click, and every time you add an additional click to get the user to go someplace within your site, you lose 20 or 30% of the people. So we have to be sure that navigation is definitely something that is highly considered. Okay, 87% of the people that request literature expect to purchase, and 37% of those purchase immediately. Now, these are general statistics, and I know that we have many different types of businesses on here today, so I know that doesn't apply to everybody. However, these are, I think that statistic came from an e-commerce site. Now, one of the most important things that we need to do is or that everybody listening today is that when you do in fact send people to your website and you do in fact capture contact information, do you have a follow-up system in place to be sure that if they don't purchase, if a visitor doesn't purchase today, that you have a system where you can follow up with them to begin to establish a relationship and build trust. And that is, you'll see that I have the word system underlined because there's a difference between sending somebody an email or calling somebody on the phone randomly and having a system in place. So this is very, very important, having a follow-up system. Okay, one of the things I mentioned I was going to talk about today was 7 emotional appeals that stimulate people to buy. One of them is people want to save money. The second one is people want to save time. People want to look better. They want to learn something new. They want to live longer. People want to be more comfortable. People want to be loved, and people want to be popular. So if depending on the types of products and services that you offer, like saving time and money, that may apply to just about everybody. But these are the type of things that, if you take a look at Maslow's hierarchy, these are the type of things that everybody wants. And if you can somehow create and design your site and your content and your copy and your headlines using these emotional appeals, you will hit a button, an emotional button from a visitor or a potential buyer, and that may entice them to buy or take action. Okay, now in most instances, your website is the first interaction that your prospect has with your company, so it has to be right. So you never really get a second chance to make a first impression. So, I kind of use these two pictures to depict that your site needs to be professionally designed and have professional copy on it. Again, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, and you only have about 10 to 20 seconds to make that impression, so it's got to be right.